Hi, it's Dr. Warden from Hopkins Family Med and Urgent Care, and we are going to be discussing part 2 of our micronutrients, which is the vitamins, and we will be talking about the fat-soluble vitamins today. Thank you. Hi, it's Dr. Warden with Hopkins Family Med and Urgent Care, and we will be continuing with the micronutrients, speaking about the vitamins, and currently we're going to be speaking about the fat-soluble vitamins. So let's get into it. So the fat-soluble vitamins are vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. These vitamins require some amount of fat in order for it to be absorbed. So let's start with vitamin A. Vitamin A is needed for growth, for vision, reproduction, and for immune function. Now, you can get vitamin A directly from animal products, but you can also get it from plant-based products, and that comes in the form of carotenoids. Carotenoids is about 600 of them in nature, and out of that 50 of them are the ones that we use. So it is a provitamin to vitamin A, and the most active form would be retinol. So beta-carotene is one of these carotenoids. It's found in fruits and vegetables that you see that have red colors, orange colors, yellow hues, these type of things. And they work very well with vitamin E for health protection. As you know, vitamin A and vitamin E are both antioxidants, and this is one of the most powerful antioxidants that we have. One of those forms of the carotenoids is also lycopene, and lycopene is a very powerful antioxidant. You can find it a lot in tomatoes and other vegetables, but when you use it in tomato form, it's always better for it to be cooked. So lycopene helps us fight against prostate cancer and other cancers, along with heart disease and macular degeneration. There are two other forms that we see in nature that are also powerful antioxidants, and that's the lutein and the zeaxanthin. And in high doses it can reduce macular degeneration, and it can also reduce risk of cataracts. Vitamin A foods, a lot of vitamin A can be seen in kale, sweet potatoes, pumpkin, carrots. These are all food sources, plant-based food sources that are very much have vitamin A in them. So the next fat-soluble vitamin we're going to be talking about is vitamin D. Majority of Americans have vitamin D deficiency. So more than 70% of Americans have vitamin D deficiency. And vitamin D is important to maintain calcium and phosphorus in our body, but it's also important for the cardiovascular system. We can measure vitamin D in the blood by assessing the 25-hydroxy vitamin D, and generally we like to see it above 35, but optimal would be about 50. And people who are at risk for vitamin D deficiency are dark-skinned individuals, strictly breastfed infants, people who have limited sun exposure, obesity, elderly population, as well as people who have GI absorption problems. So in terms of vitamin D, our skin has a cholesterol compound, and that cholesterol compound is 7-dehydrocholesterol, and it's activated by UVB sunlight, and when that happens, it goes through a series of reactions in the liver and in the kidneys to become 1,25 dihydroxy vitamin D, which is the active form of vitamin D. Now, low vitamin D is associated with some cancers. It's also associated with heart disease. It's associated with osteoporosis. It's also associated with type 2 diabetes and other autoimmune diseases. We can find vitamin D in eggs, plant-based milk because they're fortified with vitamin D, along with regular cow's milk. These are examples that we can find vitamin D contained in. The other vitamin that we're going to talk about is vitamin E. Vitamin E is also another fat-soluble vitamin. There are 8 forms of vitamin D, but out of the 8, there's only one active form, and that's the alpha-tocopherol. The alpha-tocopherol is a potent antioxidant. Just like when we were talking about vitamin A is also a very powerful antioxidant, so is vitamin E. And it helps to prevent the fragility of the red blood cells. It stops free radicals, it regulates gene expression, and it keeps our blood vessel lining smooth. Basically, it boosts 2 enzymes that increases prostacyclins. And prostacyclins helps to prevent clot and helps to keep the blood vessels open, and that in turn leads to better cardiovascular health. We can find a significant amount of this vitamin E in almond butter or almonds, hazelnut, wheat germ products, so we can find a significant amount of vitamin E, especially in the almond butter. Now, the last fat-soluble vitamin we're going to talk about in this section is going to be vitamin K. Now, vitamin K is a fat-soluble vitamin, and it's very important for blood clotting. It basically begins the clotting cycle, and it also starts with wound healing when we have an injury. It's found a lot in green leafy veggies. It's the coagulation regulator, and it's important especially when patients are taking Coumadin or warfarin patients. This vitamin K becomes very important. Believe it or not, vitamin K is also important for bone metabolism. It helps to break down and build up backbone. So that's also one of its jobs. You can see reduction in vitamin K in strictly breastfed newborns. We can also see this when we have patients that are on chronic antibiotic use, also patients that have malabsorption. And when that happens, you can have decreased bone density because of its role in bone metabolism, and also we can have increased bleeding. That's the reason why we always are trying to find a balance between the vitamin K, the foods that patients are eating, as well as having a balance when patients are taking Coumadin or also called warfarin. 2 forms of vitamin K, one that is found in bacteria and the other one that is found in plant-based products, and that one is usually the primary source of vitamin K. That's the metaquinone and the phylloquinone. The metaquinone is the bacteria form, and the phylloquinone is the plant form. You can find a lot of vitamin K in green leafy veggies, as I said. Kale also has vitamin K, and spinach, collard greens also has vitamin K. To get a more detail of these fat-soluble vitamins, you can check out our blog off of our website on Hopkins Family Med and Urgent Care. you can check out our website and you'll have more detail, more information about these fat-soluble vitamins. But it's important to note that these vitamins, that they're all fat-soluble, and from the introduction part of the concept aspect of vitamins, I did discuss that you can develop toxicity from taking excessive amount, and it's always important that you get some of these levels checked before you start taking these vitamins, especially vitamin supplements, I should say. So today we have spoke about in this section the 4 different fat-soluble vitamins, that we need to have some amount of fat in order to absorb these vitamins, that vitamin A and vitamin E are both powerful antioxidants, that vitamin D, there's a significant deficiency that we have in the United States, and periodically we should all get our vitamin D levels checked. Vitamin D is very important to maintain the calcium and phosphorus in our body, but also to maintain our cardiovascular health. And when you get that checked, it's usually 25-hydroxy vitamin D. We also went over vitamin K, and vitamin K is the vitamin that is responsible for our clotting cycle, and it's a coagulation regulator. And patients who are taking Coumadin and warfarin need to make sure that they're maintaining also their vitamin K levels, to make sure that they're also maintaining their PT-INR levels when checked. And there's 2 forms of that. The one, the primary source, is the phylloquinone, and that one is the plant-based source. And we can find that a lot in the green leafy veggies. Kale is very common to find a significant amount of vitamin K. Also remembering that vitamin K is also needed for bone metabolism, and deficiency in that can also lead to reduction of one's bone density. So that, along with vitamin D, is necessary to maintain strong bones. Thank you for watching. It's Dr. Worden with Hopkins Family Med and Urgent Care. Please subscribe and like and review our blog. Our blog usually has a lot of detail on whatever videos we have created. Thank you and have a blessed day.